There she is. Hey, Miley! Oh. Morning, Shane.
Morning.
Morning, Shiloh. Say hi, Shiloh. Oh.
Morning.
On to better things.
I'm kind of like...
I have coffee about to get ready to be mixed up. And Shane, what you got in your lunchbox for today?
We got some chicken salad. My bread to make my chicken salad. A Celsius.
To help you keep going.
And a orange body armor. Hey, look. Orange Celsius and orange body armor.
You like orange.
Maybe.
Do you like the color orange?
No.
You're a blue lover, as you can tell he's wearing. Do a small group for online, for only one, obviously. And Shane does one called Only Gents, and I do one called Garden Place. And I go live every day at 10 a.m. or 10:30, depending on the day. And yeah, I do that. Shane has taken a break from Only Gents for a little bit.
Well, we finished our Bible study and I hadn't gotten a new one yet.
He hasn't started a new one yet, so he's still praying and asking the Lord for wisdom and where to go next.
In the car and leaving the house. I thought about last week, I kind of didn't give you context about what I was saying in the scriptures and all, but all of this is stemmed from when David was facing Goliath. And one of the things that I felt like, you see, he came in, he told the king, why is this Philistine mocking Israel and all this stuff, and who will face Goliath? And David goes, I will. And the king puts all his armor on David. And in the process of putting all the armor on David, David was like, I can't do this. I can't wear your stuff and do what God has called me to do. And so just to give you a little context, I'm still in the narrative of David and reading through his life. So one of the things that leapt out at me, even kind of continuing from that whole scenario, see, David faced things before he faced Goliath. He faced the lion and he faced the bear, and he killed both of them. And the reason why he did that was because he was where God had placed him. I think a lot of times we as Christians mess up. Not just in the scenario that we want to be somebody else because of comparative culture and all that kind of stuff from Instagram, but we try to rush the process sometimes. We try to rush what God's doing. We try to rush and get to the, hey, look at me, look at all that I can do. We rush to be able to post it on Instagram, or we rush to be able to post it on Facebook. We rush just for the sake of getting to the end. David didn't do that. See, when David was anointed, he was where God had placed him in the field, tending the sheep. David, one of the things that I thought about, I heard from Christine Kane, and it was something that just never crossed my mind. But what if David had Instagram back then? And all his brothers were posting selfies with the prophet saying, I'm going to be the next king of Israel. Well, if that happened today, guaranteed David would have left the field and went and said, Dad, what's up? Why am I not? But the thing is, he didn't have those things back then. And so he wasn't bombarded with all the things of this world. He wasn't bombarded with all the things that could have taken place, should have taken place, feeling, woe was me. He didn't have all that. See, David, when God called him, he was where God had placed him. And that's what I want to talk to you a little bit. David was always in the right place because he was listening to what God was saying to him. That is something that we, as a Christian culture, have to get back to. We want to be the one in charge. We want to be the one that's climbing the corporate ladder or climbing the church ladder, Lord. Yes, there is such a thing. But we want to be networked with the most influential people. We want to be this. We want to be that. And I want to ask you, is that where God called you to be? Or are you trying to force something? Because if you're trying to force something on your own, then that's not going to be what God has called you to. It's going to be what you're trying to do. See, I tried to do something a little while back, and I didn't listen to what God was telling me. I wanted to go to the church down the road. It's a great church. Love the church. Love the pastor. We had friends there. But I knew God was telling me to go somewhere else. I knew God was telling me to go to another church, which was significantly further away. It's like 30 minutes away. Not that that's a big deal, but hey, look, free advertisement. But God was calling me there. And I knew he was calling me there. But out of convenience, I was doing something else. And I was thinking, I didn't need to go to this church. I didn't need to be doing this because, anyway, there was a ton of excuses. But now that I look back at it, I wouldn't have been in the situation, in the scenarios that I was in, provided that I would have went where God had called me. And see, the thing is, God had called me there. And look, I'm working there now. I'm helping out because God had given me a heart for this man and told me to serve this man. But I was too busy trying to live in my flesh. And now because I'm serving him, I'm receiving the blessings that he had given me, or he had for me all along. The thing is, guys, we have to sit back and say, is this where God's called me? And if it's not, I pray right now for you that you would stop what you're doing. See, David was always in the right place. When he went to face Goliath, he was where God had called him to be. Yes, he was just bringing lunch to his brothers, but he was where God had called him to be. If David wasn't in the field, he would never have faced the lion and the bear. If David didn't face the lion and the bear, he would not have the faith and the confidence that God was with him to face Goliath. Where you're at matters. Who you're serving matters. God has called you to be you, but the thing is, you got to be in the right place. That's what we are talking about. I don't know why this series is just kind of going together. Never intended it to be a series. It's just what God's speaking to me. And things that I'm pulling out of the life of David. See, you got to be in the right place to be you, for God to bless you, and for you to make an impact. I'll be honest, that's what a lot of us are looking for, is significance. A lot of us are looking for that place where we can find significance, where we can see our self-worth, where we can do all these things. But we can only get to those places if we are where God's called us to be. Not just who he's called us to be, but where he's called us to be. I love you guys, and I hope that this touches you. It's a little long, but this is The Ride with Shane. I hope you enjoyed it.
Mommy.
What are you
doing?
Mama.
Are you feeding her? Shiloh, it's not time to feed Molly.
Can I say,
Put her thing back in. Put it in there.
can I say hi?
Put it in there.
And goodbye.
Why did we bring you?
Daddy, get down. Come here. We can plan it later when nobody's looking.
What's the crisis? Yeah. Here we go. What's the crisis, Speedy?
So what's going on?
Apparently, we never cleaned our house before.
Or maybe
We vacuumed and cleaned that couch yesterday, this couch today, and I
run the world.
vacuumed the windows,
Hey,
and Shane is cleaning them.
my name is.
I thought we cleaned them before.
No, we never did.
And then Lana goes, no, I've never cleaned those before.
You're at the center.
Because when we moved in, all we were doing was worrying about doing the floors.
Machines. Is that right? Okay. They should use their precious time to.
Big girl.
There's
Look, she coming to see Daddy.
our
Hey, baby.
annoying dog.
Hi.
Lana's over there. I'm about to get her.
And this was the moment Shane knew he messed up. And there's the boys. And this is kind of how we wrapped out the day. We took the boys outside, as you can tell, and just had fun outside before bed. Be blessed.